listen to a podcast? Hold up. Check it out.
Well, it is another Freak Show in the Mornings podcast. I'm the resident idiot, as they like to call me here at the broadcast complex. I'm Freaky Dave, and that is the beauty of the show, Mary Mac.
Thanks.
It's very much Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay. I like it.
She's the beauty, I'm the beast. But then again, sometimes late at night, Mary Mac can hashtag beast mode as well.
I am scary looking.
Anyway,
yeah,
scary stuff. Freak Show in the Mornings podcast, right here with the Freak Show, which you can catch weekday mornings with 98.5 KISS FM. Download the app, listen to us, giggle with us, have fun as you wake up in the morning with us. I mean, whatever.
Okay, whatever you want to do.
Anyway, in this podcast, we have taken interest in this for several reasons. Number one, Mary Mac is single and on the prowl.
No,
Yay!
no, I'm not at all. I don't know why these podcasts always consist of either finding me a man or my personal life or...
Because my life is boring and your life is somewhat exciting and entertaining.
Not. My life is just as boring.
Everybody that knows Mary Mac, from relatives to friends to just casual acquaintances to people sitting at a bar right now, are trying to find her a man.
No, they're not.
Somehow, some way. We've tried plenty of fish, failed. Tinder, failed.
We have not. We did
Match.com,
not. No.
failed. It's all been a failure.
That's a lie. We haven't tried any of that besides Tinder.
We have now finally just reached a point where we are literally just walking up to people at various stores in the area and going, hey, are you single? Do you need a woman? And then we show a picture of Mary Mac in her better days and say, basically, rate a date. We're doing rate a date with Mary Mac, with pictures of Mary Mac live on location.
Should we just walk around town and you should have my picture and just say, hey, would you date this girl? Yes or no? And then if they say yes and they're somewhat cute, then you could just give them my number. Yeah,
but the ones that we're all finding that are actually cute, that have some legs to stand on, you evidently don't find attractive because they're too successful or they're too professional looking or something. Anyway, we have compiled a list from the Freak Show listeners. Tips from our female listeners on the Freak Show in the Mornings.
Okay.
Never date a man who ...
Who does these things.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll start off with never date a man who is a salesman.
Okay. I don't really know what that means.
Well, I think it's because, Mary Mac, as a female, you don't want to feel like you're being sold on something every single time. So you don't, like, for instance, if we role played here on this podcast, it would be a situation where, like, I would walk in and go, hey, honey, how was your day?
Oh, God, that makes me nauseous. I can't do it.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I just bought you a new toaster oven. Look at this thing. It's stainless steel. It emits a great heat value to toast your bread on.
See, I'm looking at it a different way.
Okay, how are you looking at it?
Because all salesmen are full of That's the way I'm looking at it.
You can't say that!
I just did.
Great. That was Mary Mac that said that, not Freaky Dave. She meant to say poop.
Do you want to just bleep it out? Here, I'll say it again. You can beep it out.
No, I'll have to bleep it out and some bleep it. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Never date a man who is a mother's only son.
Why?
Because that usually, I'm just saying from a guy's perspective. Well, he's attached to the umbilical cord still.
Okay.
Which means anything that happens has to go through mom.
Okay.
Which means it could get really weird late at night when there's some intimate time going on and maybe you want to try something new and he has to call his mom and ask permission.
Whoa. Mommy, I don't know why she has all these ropes and whips, Mom.
Mom, the candle wax really hurt last night. I don't understand why. No, but usually mama's boys, but in this case, a mother's only son.
Yeah.
Probably still does his laundry. Probably still cooks him dinners. Let's be honest, he probably still lives at home.
Whoa, you think so?
Possibly, yeah. All right, never date a man who can look at your name brand clothes and name what brands they are.
Whoa.
We all know why.
There might be a problem there.
We all know why. He is not interested in you. He is interested in some guy named Stan.
Exactly. Yeah. He might be batting for the other team.
Oh,
yeah.
So you're dating Stanley? Okay. Anyway, never date a man. You know Stanley the Power Tool?
I do know
anyway,
Stanley.
Okay,
I got it. Yeah,
I just want to clarify
Thank
that.
You. Yes.
Never date a man who doesn't take off his shoes when he comes over.
Okay, I just had a guy come over to my house the other night and immediately did that. Like walked in and took his shoes off immediately, and I'm like, I thought it was really nice, but then I also thought,
all right,
it was the first time he's ever been over.
Mary Mac, I don't care who comes over to my house.
Right.
I really don't care, okay?
Yeah.
If you come in immediately and take off your shoes, I'm going to look at you like you're like some space alien that just landed from another planet, number
Right.
one. Number two, I'm going to go, listen, we're not so uppity in this house that
Right.
you have to take off your shoes.
I don't know. I guess it's like a respect thing, but
I guess.
if someone's coming over to your house for the first time, like you've literally never hung out with them before and they immediately take off their shoes, I don't know.
All right,
It's
now,
kinda weird.
I think this one speaks for itself. Never date a man who thinks he has a better arse than you do.
Arse? I didn't know that word had an R in it.
Well, I don't want to be like you and just start dropping dirty language.
You can't say that?
No, I'm not going to say it.
On our podcast, you can say it?
He thinks he has a better
But than
donkey.
You. A donkey. A badonkadonky.
A badonkadonk.
That's really weird. That would be weird.
I've never met a man who is sitting there going, I think my butt looks better than my girlfriend's or my
I've
wife's.
met a few people that are like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah, those guys, you ladies, you need to run away from as far as possible.
As fast as possible. Not far. Far and fast.
Far and fast.
There you go.
Never date a man who has a criminal past. That goes without saying.
I don't necessarily agree with this one. I don't, because there's different types of crime. Like, what if it was something
Embezzlement. Yes or no?
Yes.
Murder.
Only because I'd probably be into that.
Armed robbery.
No, that's scary. No.
All right, Mary Mac, how about this? I don't know if you saw this story, but 3 Pennsylvania men were arrested for, let's just say, getting frisky with more than a dozen animals over the last 5 years. The men have been accused of, I'm trying to put this somewhat G-rated,
Just say
having
it.
intimate relations with a cow, a goat, 9 horses, and an unknown amount of dogs.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, the men are all facing up to 41 years
How
in
many
prison.
men is this?
There's 3 of them, 3 Pennsylvania guys.
Are they all friends or brothers?
It doesn't say.
Do we know?
It doesn't say. All it says is a cow, a goat, 9 horses, and an unknown amount of dogs.
Like, I wonder if they had like a standing appointment, like every Friday night. Like, they knew what was going to happen.
Hey, you bring the carrots,
That's what I'm
and I'll show up with the trash bags, or I guess I don't know. Anyway, so that kind of a guy would be a no.
Dude, that's so sick.
That
Guy would be a no. I don't know.
All right, talking about never date a man who does whatever right here on this podcast with the Freak Show in the mornings. Get drunk on your first few dates.
Oh, I would probably be the one that would do that.
Yeah, Mary Mac's the one getting drunk on the first few dates.
Could it be my DD? That's what I would say. No, I try not to drink a lot if I go out on. I don't really go out on a lot of first dates, though.
But I mean, you know what? Honestly, if you're dating a guy or really a girl, honestly, and you go out on a first date with them and they get completely sloshed,
yeah, it's gross.
Red flag right there. There's some issues.
Well, they always tell you that if you go
out
on a first date, you should always stick to like a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah,
you don't ever want to.
And then for safety's concern as
That's
well.
what I'm saying.
I mean,
you don't want to get stuck somewhere.
You don't want to get so hammered that all of a sudden you're walking down a dark alley with somebody and it's like, what's your name again?
Or it's like, hey girl, I know you've been drinking a lot. My house is just right down the corner. Maybe we could just.
Didn't that happen a couple months ago on a date with you? Anyway, all right. Never date a man who doesn't open the doors for you.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah,
I like that one. Nobody really does that anymore.
Yeah,
they really don't.
Yeah,
so
but I think
I do like it.
I mean, I think it's kind of like gets to a point where it's like. I mean, I understand, like, if you're going into a restaurant and you open the door, I still do that, of course, but it's like every time we go to the car. I mean, after you've dated somebody for months and months now, it's like, okay, open your own car door.
But some guys like to do that every single time. I think it's cute.
I know. Never date a man who considers sweatpants a part of his everyday wardrobe. We know somebody like that.
Disagree. I disagree with this one, though.
So you're attracted to this person we work with that wears sweatpants every single day?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But there is a time when sweatpants can be super cute and you can wear them out.
I agree.
People do it all the time now.
And they've gotten a little more stylish where they're a little more slimmer fit and everything.
Those are called joggers, yes.
But if you, I think the point of this is if you're with a guy that's wearing them every day.
That's like his main attire.
Yeah. That person can be defined as unemployed.
I was like, does that person have a job? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Never date a man. We asked female know, listeners on the Freak Show in the mornings, tips on when you're out there dating a guy, never date a guy who won't let you go out with him on weekends or meet his friends.
Yeah, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, that means they're going to the strip club.
That means that you're not the only person that they're talking to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right, never date a man who has to ask his mother for her opinion before he makes a decision. That gets right back to he still lives at home with his mom.
Nope.
And the umbilical cord is still tight around his belly button.
Correct.
Yeah. Never date a man who mentions his ex within the first 5 dates.
Yeah, I just actually had this happen to me like a month ago. I was like hanging out with the guy for the very first time, and literally within the first 2 hours I think we were listening to music, we were driving somewhere, and he was like, I was playing a song, and he said, seriously, it's like, this song like reminds me of like my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, that's that. At
and
that
I'm
point,
like,
you.
Oh no!
I don't agree with this in the first 5 dates. I think you have to be open about your past at some point for the other person to really start to understand you. And then understand, kind of what you've gone through.
Yeah.
Just like you kind of want to know what they've gone through. It kind of sets the foundation.
Yeah.
But within the first 10 minutes, that's a no-no. That's a no-no.
No.
All right, never date a man who still hangs out with the same people he hung out with in high school.
No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I think it's cool if you still have, like, I think that
this means if he only hangs out with the same people.
Or maybe like you acted like you did in high school.
In high school. And what if he dresses like that?
Oh, gosh.
Still, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Dangerous. Never date a man who gets mushy and weepy when he's drunk. Why are you laughing, Mary Mac? Has this happened to you before? Many times. Yeah, she's nodding her head emphatically yes.
Not to me, but yeah, I've been like hanging out with someone that starts to get a little drunky, and then all of a sudden it's like it goes from fun to
therapy.
Are you crying? Are you okay? What's happening over there? And it's just like, it's fine. I'm good. Like,
if that man was in a grocery store, he would be called damaged goods.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He would be the bruised cabbage.
All right, never date a man who swears in front of children.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and you know my brother. Like, my brother is, 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, tatted up.
From the neck down.
Yeah.
My brother's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
We were out not long ago. We had Dax and Stella with us. There was a table of guys, college kids behind us that were dropping some cuss words, and my brother, you could tell it was kind of like getting to him and getting to him.
And the thing is, and knowing your brother, it's not like dropping the F-bomb, just talking to him is going to be a big thing. But I think when you're in a situation, whether you do use swear words or not and dirty words, but when you're in an environment where there are kids around that can hear, I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, he went over there. And, yeah, and he said, cut it out, basically.
And those. Why didn't you call me and say, "Hey, Dave, can you come over?" I mean, I would
like you needed a little backup.
Not for backup. I just wanted to be there to witness it. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right, Freak Show in the Mornings podcast. Never date a man who alphabetizes his spices.
Whoa. I don't know if
Wait, let's be honest, Mary Mac. Let's just stop right now and go, if you go over to a guy's house and he has a spice collection, you need to turn around and walk out of the house immediately because chances are he probably doesn't like girls, he likes guys.
No! Think about this. What if you were dating a chef, though?
Okay, so that's a whole different story.
If you're dating a chef, I think it's a different story.
That's a whole different story. But how many people out there are chefs?
Not a whole lot.
Exactly.
No, not a whole lot.
So if they sit there and the first thing they do is, oh, you want to come over to the house? Okay, cool. And you walk in, he has some mood lighting, some candles lit and everything. It's like,
gross.
Hey, why don't you come into my kitchen real fast? Why? I want to show you my spice collection. I have it alphabetized.
Hey, baby. Let's organize a spice rack tonight. You be oregano, and I'll be the rosemary.
Oh! What? That leads to a whole other question. What spice would I be, Mary Mac?
Himalayan sea salt.
I thought so. There you go. All right. Never date a man who, let's go through some of these, reuses his Ziploc bags, whatever.
Disgusting.
I mean, that's just,
That's gross.
I'm thinking, what do
you do that?
What do I use my Ziploc bags for? My Legos?
Oh, I was going to say.
So that's a whole different reason I would reuse my Ziploc bags.
I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, I know you were. Uses cologne to hide his BO.
Gross. Moving on. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, guys, do something to smell good. Ladies like that. Anyway, never date a man who has expired milk in the fridge. Well, that's me.
Yeah, I've got expired milk in my fridge.
Yeah,
No.
whatever. It's called we live a life that's very, very busy.
Yeah, insane.
And it's like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, never date a man who can't cook anything besides toaster strudels.
Yeah, this would probably be a...
Listen, I can do ramen. I can also do a mean bowl of cereal in the morning. You know what I'm saying,
You
girl?
can do anything that comes out of a box, probably.
Yeah, anyway, never date a man who spends more time in the mirror than you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, every day of the week, twice on the weekends.
Correct, yes.
Because if he's spending that much time in front of the mirror, he's trying to look good for somebody else.
See, that's what I always used to think. And then people would say, oh, you're being paranoid or blah, blah, blah. But it's a telltale sign, I think, that if you're with someone for a long period of time and then all of a sudden they start to dress different, they start going to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you? What are you doing? Who are you trying to look good
and
for?
as a guy, let's be honest, you slap some deodorant under the armpits, spray a little cologne on, brush your teeth, maybe use some mouthwash, put some gel in your hair. All of 10 minutes?
Right.
Tops?
Yeah.
Tops. And most guys are showering and getting ready in that 10-minute period.
Correct.
And we wait around for the girls.
And drinking a beer at the same time.
And it's okay.
In the shower.
Anyway, never date a man who, with his first name and his last name, say someone, for instance, John Johnson.
like Dave Davidson?
Dave Davidson. Bill Billmeyer. No, okay.
That's weird.
Is over 30 and still lives with his parents. Yeah.
I don't know about this one. Okay.
Well, in this day and time,
it's very different.
It's a little different because it's, especially for the millennial generation,
right.
It's hard, number one, to get a job in your field. It's hard to, right now it's hard for people to get a job that can support a lifestyle, period.
Yeah, exactly.
So, honestly, I think that's a case-by-case study.
That's what I'm saying. Are you in your parents' basement, playing Nintendo and eating cheese puffs all day, or are you like working and contributing and helping?
Or maybe this guy is still living with his parents, so he can be more financially responsible and pay stuff off and kind of get a head start. It makes sense.
I'm kind of talking to a guy right now who is.
Of course you are.
He graduated from college early, like in 3 years, with the microbiology degree.
The problem with that is you need to start dating people that are more in the 30 range, instead of the early 20s.
Can
but
you
anyway,
give me a second?
Sure, go ahead.
He graduated college early, and now he's going to med school in Knoxville, and he moved back in with his parents to go to med school to save money. So I don't think
that makes complete sense.
That's a bad idea.
That makes complete sense. Yeah. And the guy is going to make bank one day.
Yeah,
anyway.
Maybe this one will work out.
All right, I got something interesting for this. Never date a guy who asks you to chip in for gas.
I don't agree with this one. I always like to chip in with stuff. I don't think it's a guy's responsibility to pay for everything every single time. We don't live in 1952 anymore.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And you know what? And in most cases, let's be honest, women out there, you're making as much as we are as guys for the most part. I'm not talking about Major League Baseball players. I'm not talking about professional football or basketball players. I'm not talking about, CEOs of companies. But for the most part, for most of general American men out there, ladies, you're making almost as much money as we are. And in some cases, more.
Well, yeah, some of us.
Well, except for Mary Mac. Except for Mary Mac.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I might add, the whole thing asks you to chip in for gas. And the girlfriend's going to get really PO'd when I say this, but when we decide to go to the zoo in Knoxville, put more gas in than just enough to get there. So on the way back, when I'm not looking at the gas thing and I'm having to drive and we run out of gas and get stranded on I-40, it's not my fault. It is not my fault.
I think it was a collection. It was collective.
All right, never date a guy who doesn't have a driver's license or his own car.
Correct.
Goes without saying.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never date a guy who gets a lot of calls from girls that are quote unquote just friends.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
If you're falling for that one, then you're an idiot and you shouldn't be dating anyway.
Yeah. If you're talking to another guy, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your dad.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your brother.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a guy you work with. I don't care if it's an ex. If you're talking to that guy more than you're talking to me every day, there's some problems.
There's some big problems.
Big problems.
Okay.
All right. Never date a guy who forgets his wallet on the first date. Yeah.
it would be.
This is what the Freak Show listener said.
Okay, well, I mean, if it's legitimate, maybe like if it was an accident, I don't think I would care. But I don't know. How do you forget your wallet on a first date? You're probably going to want to pay for dinner.
I'll tell you exactly why. It's done on purpose so that she has to pay for it. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then El Primo red flag.
That's another red flag.
Okay.
All right. Never date a guy who wears old, dirty sneakers because evidently shoes tell a lot about a person.
I don't know. Like if they're old, worn out, like New Balance old man shoes, absolutely. But I've seen a pair of Converse or Vans that are old and worn out, and I like that. So.
And you know what? As a guy, I can say this as a guy, and I love shoes. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of shoes.
Okay. Why are you touching yourself?
I'm not touching myself. I'm trying to insinuate a point here. Okay.
It's like you're grabbing yourself.
I'm not grabbing myself. Okay. Not yet.
I
at least.
shoes.
I love these shoes.
Okay.
As a guy, you get comfortable. I mean, not just with your shoes, but definitely in aspects of your life where you don't like to come out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So, you find a pair of shoes and you like these pair of shoes. I know there's some people out there that as soon as you get a scuff mark on a pair of shoes, they'll go out and buy a $200 pair of LeBrons again. I'm the kind of person, I'll wear shoes until they literally come apart.
Well, yeah,
and
I think that's a generation thing too, though.
All right, never date a man who had a few beers before the first date even started. We're going to scratch this one off the list because that's a prerequisite to date Mary Mac.
I mean, that's a pregame right there.
Never date a man who plays more video games than your 10-year-old brother.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah, that is not attractive.
Now, let me ask you, would playing Candy Crush on your smartphone count as that? Or are we talking about like a Nintendo 4 or an Xbox? Like you walk in to go on a date with somebody and they're sitting there going, hey, listen, can we wait 15 minutes? I'm in this really intense game on Xbox Live with this guy in Taiwan.
I'd probably walk out. Yeah.
Never date a man who can't even keep his car clean inside and out.
I don't like a dirty car. I think it's gross.
Okay.
So,
well, I don't have time to clean out my car.
There's a difference in your car and like someone else's car.
And what's the difference?
Filled with
And what's the difference?
Like boxes of chicken and
I don't
KFC.
I don't have food growing in the back of my car. Yeah.
There's a difference.
All right, never date a man who can never spend the holidays with you because he works.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
No, that's a
And in
thing.
this day and time though, you have to understand that we don't work in an 8 to 5 world anymore. I mean,
no, I know.
A lot of jobs out there, you're having to work nights, weekends, and holidays.
But the biggies, I think the biggies, like you gotta like Christmas and at least a birthday, yeah.
All right, never date a man who never stays the night because he has to give his mom or another family member a ride to work in the morning. Somebody actually sent this in.
Okay, I don't know. I think that's kind of sweet, but I don't know. Like if I feel like it would be a little awkward.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But then again, if you really want to make the relationship work, you can let him stay the night and get up with him and go when he takes his mom to work. Yeah.
Like maybe eat a biscuit on the way.
Never date a man who refuses to bring home some of your leftover cooking.
What? Oh, he comes over to your house, you cook dinner, and then he doesn't want leftovers?
Yeah.
I don't know why that would be a big deal. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. With Haley and her chicken spaghetti, I mean, she can't make it fast enough, and I'll take it wherever she wants me to take it.
Well, that's fine,
that good.
But it's like if she cooks something that you didn't like, it's not like you're going to lie and say, yeah, I'll take it home.
Well, actually, I would. I would say, yes, I will take it home and then deposit it in the trash can.
What a baby.
But I do that because it's someone else's feelings. I care.
Okay.
Anyway, never date a man who shuts off his cell phone at certain times of the night. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, weird.
Something's going down.
You know what else I have figured out, too?
What have you figured out, Mary Mac, about the dating world?
Hold on, let me pull this. Hold on, I have my phone charging.
It's
not even charging. Okay. So let's say you're hanging out with someone, right? Mm-hmm. At night. Let's say they come over to your house to watch a movie, dinner, okay? So I'll sit down, right, and say we're at the table, and so I'm like this. Okay, it's like that, and then you have someone who every time puts their phone down, puts it down like this.
Yeah, that bugs me out, man.
That to me is a telltale sign that there's something on you're texting other people that you don't want me to see, or it's like something's going on.
Yep.
I don't like that. So I realized that the other day.
Yeah, I always keep my phone. I mean, and you're in here with me in the studio doing the show. I mean, I always keep it up like this. When you come back to my office, it's up like this.
Look,
I have nothing to hide.
I'm always a firm believer of if you don't have anything to hide, like I don't think it's a trust issue per se, but I'm always really honest. Like, look, like my phone's always up. If you want my passcode, that's fine. I don't think that's intrusive. It's me saying, look, I have, if I'm telling you I have nothing to hide, you can go through my phone.
But if every time I'm with you and you're literally putting your phone upside down, that's definitely a red flag. All right, last but not least, here on the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast with Freaky Dave and Mary Mac, you never date a man who wants you to marry him within the first 6 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Because you know exactly why I'm looking at you, Mr. Always Jump the Gun in every relationship.
I'm the one. No, I don't jump the gun.
Yes,
I don't
do.
jump the gun. And I'm like trying to like extend the life of this. And it's like, I got in a conversation with a man that you and I both know.
Okay.
And we were talking about dating because he's dating somebody right now and I'm dating somebody right now. And
everybody's dating.
And it's like, why in the hell do we have to talk marriage within 3 months?
No.
Why in the hell do we have to talk about moving into a house in 3 months?
No.
I mean, what happened to courting somebody?
I don't know. I think it's nowadays people it's all about instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
And you want it now and you can't get it soon enough and everybody else has it and you want it and that's what everybody kind of bases their life around.
Craziness.
I don't like it.
Craziness.
All right. Well, that's it.
Mary Mac is single. She needs a man. If you can check all of these off the list, other than drinking before the first date even starts, then you probably need to call her up immediately because, well, she is available.
Okay.
And, of course, this is the Freak Show in the Mornings podcast with Freaky Dave and Mary Mac. You can catch us on 98.5 KISS FM each and every weekday morning, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., and we hope you have a great day.
See you.